Hello viewers, you're watching the N24 News. I am Mudiwa Ngum. Thank you for joining us. First, with the headlines. The No to Teachers Exploitation calls on the government to look at the new pay scale or revolt against the system. The TRRC findings on Jame and Dr. Mo's so-called HIV treatment. Pura explains frequent fiber cuts and plans to explore securing second fiber cable and extra backup facilities. Gambian farmers yet to receive their groundnut money from the government. Now the news in detail. The No to Teachers Exploitation calls on the government to look at the new pay scale or revolt against the system. Demba EWCC and Modu A. Sambu are part of the executive of the No to Teachers Exploitation. These two had an exclusive interview at the N24 Radio 105.2 FM on the issue of the newly proposed pay scale for teachers. They called on the government to remember that they constitute 40% of the workforce in this country and that their status should be increased or maintained. The newly pay scale, which intends to start July this year, has brought down the grading points of the teachers compared to civil servants in other sectors. If our status is not maintained in the pay scale, we will revolt against the system, one of the members mentioned on his Facebook post. The TRRC findings with regards to criminal liability for human rights violations and abuses on the issue of HIV/AIDS patients, ex-President Jame and Dr. Mo are responsible for the deaths of 41 HIV and AIDS patients who died because of their fake treatment programmed and responsible for the sexual violence committed against the victim, which was part and parcel of the treatments administered. More in this report.
Dr. Tamsir Mbow was the Director of Health Services and later became the Health Minister in 2007. He also acted as the Chief Medical Director at the RVTH. On January 17, 2007, ex-President Jammeh announced that he has found the cure for HIV and AIDS and that he received a mandate from God to create the cure from 7 different herbs mentioned in the Holy Quran. At that time, the former health minister was there to clinically monitor the patients and as well as taking complaints and symptoms they manifested and give report to the ex-President Jammeh. According to Dr. Mbow's testimony from the TRRC, he stated that he can't say the types of medication Jammeh was giving to the patients. But according to what the president told him, he, the president, was using 7 different medications, but later said he was using more than 20 herbs, including the ones to cure infertilities and other treatments. The president also claims that the medication he used to cure the virus were from the Gambia and others from Latin America. This has allegedly claimed the lives of 41 people.
Pura explains frequent fiber cuts and plans to explore securing second fiber cable and extra backup facilities. The Gambia's telecommunications and internet communications to the outside world are routed mainly through the African coast to Europe fiber submarine cable. The ACE consortium consists of over 23 member countries that have routed the fiber cable from France to South Africa via the west coast of Africa. The government of the Gambia, through the assistance of the World Bank, invested $25 million to be connected to the ACE cable. The planning and implementation of the submarine fiber cable was done by a major telecommunications manufacturer, Alcatel of France. More in this report.
During the past few years, the ACE cable has been experiencing cable cuts on the fiber segment branching to the Gambia, resulting in major disruptions on our telecommunications and internet communication with the outside world, since the operation and maintenance of the ACE cable is under responsibility of ACE consortium. They mobilize special equipped ships to the Gambia for repairs instance. The Ministry of Information, GSC, Pura, and the Telecommunications (ICT) providers has determined that the frequency of the ACE fiber cable cuts is as a result of the fishing activities on a rocky area that the cable is laid. A regulation declaring the area as a protection zone has been enacted, and the procurement of shipping vehicles for the Gambia Navy to patrol the area has commenced. The authority, in consultation with the ministry, determined that all operators must have a permanent backup of traffic on the ACE cable to ensure service are not disrupted when the ACE fiber is faulty. The operators have complied and have bought the necessary bandwidth on the Sonatel fiber cable via Senegal to the outside world. The Sonatel fiber is routed from the Gambia via Amdalite to Sliti for redundancy purposes. The authority operators, MOICI, and the government are exploring other options of making sure that the Gambia has a second fiber cable backup, considering the impact that these failures are having.
Gambian farmers yet to receive their groundnut money from the government. Amid reports of farmers complaining about slow payment of funds, some farmers in North Bank region called on Gambian government to pay their money after buying their groundnuts. Over now to the sports news. Dinner with the presidency, $90 million to send off to AFCON. Following a traditional dinner with President Adama Barrow on Thursday night at State House, Scorpions made an AFCON appearance, received a major boost with a whopping $90 million contribution from the government of the Gambia as support for the national team's debut in the Nations Cup. The Limbe-bound Scorpions opened their campaign against Mauritania on January 12th before matches against Mali and 2004 winners Tunisia. There you have it for this bulletin of the news. Join us next time.